Yo, what is going on, everyone? What is going on? So, those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube are a bit thrown for a loop right now because this stream was not promoted on LinkedIn or on YouTube. Usually, I promote whenever there is a stream that we're doing, and usually the streams that we do on LinkedIn and YouTube are tech testimony streams, generally what we call them, where we're doing a stream with someone who recently just broke into the tech industry, or they're at a tech company doing a non-technical role, and they're telling their testimony, their story about how they got in the industry to educate and inspire you all. This is a rare occasion. This is a unicorn occasion where we're actually interviewing someone whose company is hiring. We're doing a internal job referral. And so this is something that we actually usually only do within the internal Techpreneur Discord community. So every Saturday, we do a stream with someone whose company is mass hiring, and we keep that internal with our Discord community. Now, some of you all on YouTube and LinkedIn have come from my throat saying, Cyrus, why are you gatekeeping some of these opportunities? Why are you only giving it to your community? Well, the reason why is because what many of you don't know is that when you refer a large quantity of people, and I'm talking the thousands of you that are going to end up watching this, when you recommend hundreds or thousands of people to a company, you have no way to filter the quality level of all of the people that are going to apply to that company. And that might not sound like a bad thing to you, but understand when you introduce too many people, or when too many people, I got thrown off by a comment that I saw. When too many people are going and applying to a company saying that they know you, let's be modest and say it's only 100 people. There's no way for you to filter the quality of each of those individuals. So how does that harm that individual? It harms the individual because based on the performance level of most of those individuals, based on the way those individuals interview, based on the viability of them actually showing up for their first day of work or for orientation, based on how consistent they are, all of those things cause a trickle effect that could harm the name of the person that referred those individuals. So what we do within the Techpreneur community, because we have some pieces in place to help refine our community when it comes to their interviewing, when it comes to just a long variety of things. So right now, I'm not trying to promote or pitch the community, just letting you all know what it is. Because we have those things in place, it allows us to be more open to letting our community know about internal job referrals. That being said, we actually have the CEO, we actually have the founder of the company, the Rise of the 1%, on here with us right now, Gerald, who is to Charliette's right, and he's actually given us permission to go public with this stream. Now, for the Techpreneur community, again, you all know that we usually keep these conversations private and exclusive just to you. I did announce that this would be a private stream just for the Techpreneur community. Unfortunately, because Gerald is here, we are able to make this conversation public. So I was wrong to announce it as a private stream. Nevertheless, stay tuned. This Saturday, we do have another stream that will be private to our Discord community. But also you have the beautiful benefit of also applying for this amazing opportunity as well. So definitely make sure that you're here. Make sure that you are engaging in the comments, asking questions both for Charliette, for Gerald about the opportunity, because this is something I know will bless a large group of you. And even beyond the hiring opportunity that is here right now, those of you that, of course, will end up working at their company in the future, early congratulations. But those of you who don't, still make sure that you follow their company, because there will be future hiring opportunities as well. And you want to make sure that you don't miss out on that. Anyway, I'm doing a whole bunch of yapping. We got to get to the main point of why we are here. That being said, I hope everybody's having a lovely day. And let's go ahead and get into this conversation. So I said this offline, but now I need to say this now, just kind of introducing this conversation. Charliette, Gerald, thank you both so much for coming on here and sharing this opportunity with the community. I deeply appreciate both of you for taking the time to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us, Zach.
Same.
Yeah. So look, let's jump into it. And that being said, also for both of you, if any point in time you need to cut me off, or if you want to kind of steer a different direction to talk about something different about the company, about the opportunity, or about things in the future, feel free to. Of course, I'm asking you questions, but at the end of the day, if there's a direction or something, a nugget that you feel is important to mention that I'm not kind of leaning us towards, feel free to interject so we can go that direction. So, all right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's talk about it. Just on a high level, Charliette, you had shared with me some of the, or maybe all of the hiring that's going on right now. But what are some of the roles or the hiring opportunity right now that's happening with the rise of the 1%?
So currently, right now, we're doing hiring in regards to what is really, really needed as of right now is for SDRs.
Mhm.
Individuals, any of you guys that has any expertise when it comes to, especially when it comes to prospecting on social media, client acquisition, and also those are good at picking up systems. That's also helpful too as well. Managing CRMs, things of that nature. That's the position that we have hiring right now. But the great news about the particular position is that it has a growth path to it. So literally in like 60 days, you can be in a whole nother position. So
That's
I want
incredible.
everybody to understand that too as well, because a lot of times, and just to give like real short background on me, guys, I have been in the tech industry for 15 years now. I recently joined forces with Gerald with the Rise of the 1%. He's in Atlanta, I'm in Dallas. And we actually came together because we both saw like something is going on. We want to be more present in these roles in different companies and in different industries, but we also want people to learn too, and be absolutely fantastic and knock things out the park. So we both had that vision in our head when we thought of doing this too as well. So guys, when it comes to like this role, so like for example, if you are great at setting targets, if you are great at talking to people, if you are great at being consistent, you will do well in this role. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You know, I'm
I
just
love
saying.
that. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of you that are in the comments right now, and a lot of you that are going to be watching this later tonight and later throughout the weekend. Many of you have done tech sales course. Many of you have done an SDR course. So many of you are more than well refined, and particularly those of you that have done course careers. Obviously, I'm very familiar with course careers. It's a very refined SDR program. You are more than capable, especially particularly if you have those other pieces that Charlie had mentioned, that level of consistency and professionalism, and yeah, you being able to communicate, talk to people, you being confident, you being bold, all of those different things. I really think this is a really phenomenal opportunity for many of you, because yeah, the market is very competitive right now. There are a lot of amazing opportunities,
Right.
but the market is very, very competitive, and so this is a very rare occasion that you all are literally hearing from the leader and the founder of the company that's hiring with this opportunity that's here right now. So just give you all a heads up for those of you that just want to know on a high level, okay, what's the link to the company? How do I go and apply? Now, don't jump the gun and go and apply right now. The reason why I didn't just post the link is so that we
Right.
could talk to you, so you could learn more about the company as well as about how to apply properly. Because the reality of it is, a lot of times we talk about this a lot. Many of you are applying to companies and you're smart, you're consistent, you're hardworking, you're all of those different pieces. But there's sometimes you're making mistakes when it comes to the application process with the company. So part
Right.
of the portion of the conversation is to make sure that you are properly applying, because they want you. If you're that person, you're quality, you're hardworking, you're consistent, they want you and they want you to have this opportunity. Nevertheless, or with that, they want to make sure that you are successful when you are applying. So make sure that you don't just jump and go ahead and apply right away. Definitely click on the link, have the tab pulled up, but listen to the remainder of the conversation. So that way
Right.
you can make sure you're applying properly, so you can be a top candidate in the application pool with the rise of the 1%.
Right.
And yeah, Michael, you asked the question, where can we apply? So the link, if you actually look at the description of this stream right now, I'm rarely on YouTube Live, so I'm trying to think where it's at. But there's a tab where you can click, and it'll open up for the description where it'll break down. It literally starts off saying her company is hiring, and then it goes into a few different details, and then you will see the link listed down below. So let us know if you don't see it, and I'll try some pseudo magical way for to make sure it appears somewhere for you. So if we could, we could talk a little bit to the, I guess going back to talking about the opportunity where, so we know it's an SDR role, and I'll mention a couple of these pieces that you sent over, and then I will kind of shift over to another question that we have. So you shared with me that for the role, I have it written down. All right, cool. Okay, great. Here we go. All right, so yeah, so you had shared. All right, so it's hiring for a little more than 5 SDR roles, where you have that the base is $2,000 a month, based on KPIs, plus 10% of 10% of the sales. So you put in here in parentheses I put it in parentheses. You would put that the pay range is from 58,000 to 150,000. So can you speak to that with a little bit more clarity? Like, okay, because that's a large range. So is that saying 58,000 is I guess a projection for someone? I don't want to say someone that's underperforming, but they're doing basically the bare minimum, versus 150 is someone that is kind of like, really going for the gusto? Or can you just kind of speak to that gap in number?
Joe, you want to have a discussion on the KPIs?
Yeah, so pretty much in terms of being able to make around 58,000 a year, that would be for someone that's pretty much going all in on the SDR role. Now, in terms of getting to multi-six figures, that would be more of a closer role.
Okay.
We have a growth path to get there within a certain amount of time, because our growth path is SDR, been performing there well, let's say over a couple of months. The next role is BDR, business development role, which is typically end-to-end sales. And then from BDR, doing well there, next is closer, right? So
okay, great.
That's what I would say there in terms of.
Yeah, good stuff. And for those that are, I'm not, because y'all know I didn't do the course careers. I didn't actually do course careers. I did the sales engineering course. For those that are that you haven't heard about what closer is, that would be more so what you've learned in terms of being an account executive or AE.
Account executive.
Yeah, right. AE, yeah.
So, yeah. So just so that y'all are aware of what Gerald is expressing when he said, just so like there's a direct correlation when it comes to that. So definitely good. That's actually really dope, because that's incredibly on par with the market of an SDR, up to that pipeline he mentioned with being that closer in terms of pay. And I mean, I'll be real, even at up to 150,000 for a closer role, that's actually above market when it comes to the average pay for an account executive. So that's actually really great, because I know usually account executives are somewhere around entry level, at least are around like 110, 115, somewhere around there. So up to the 150K, for those that are be up there, that actually is really incredible. But even those of you that will be getting in this as entry level SDR, that are killing it and crushing it at that entry level pay, is still really good. I see y'all saying huge range. Yeah. So he was able to break down the difference in the range. Sunshine, you said, Cyrus, the link is not available to click on yet. Are you saying that you don't see the link? Or are you saying when you click on it, it doesn't trigger the next web page opening up? Please, I guess, tell me which one it is, so we can kind of, move accordingly.
And what I could do as well, Cyrus, I know Charlotte was asking me to speak on KPIs in terms of pay. So at the SDR role, how that works is pretty much our offering right now is a $2,500 a month offer for our clients that work with us in terms of helping them with lead generation and client acquisition, so they're on retainer. But pretty much, like you were stating, Cyrus, we're paying 10% of each deal that closes. So that's around $250 a sale. Plus, what we do as well is if you book 10 qualified calls a week, which is 40 a month, or even if you're not booking 10 qualified calls a week, let's just say you book 5 or 6 qualified calls a week, but at least 2 close a week, which is 8 in a month, we pay the $2,000 a month base plus the 10% of each deal that close.
That's phenomenal.
For SDR.
That's phenomenal. Yes, I see a lot of you in the comments saying that you're not able to click on the link. So Sunshine said it's not triggering, and a few of you says you don't see the link. So don't worry, we will provide the link. I'll make sure, for those of you that are on YouTube, when this stream is over, I'll make sure to post the link at the top of the comments, and I'll pin it as well. So I'll make sure it's posted and it's pinned.
Look like it's frozen.
Yeah, it's froze. He'll be back in a few minutes.
No problem, no problem. Look like Cyrus fell off.
Yep.
Try to log back in.
Give it a few more minutes, guys, and he'll come back in soon.
Yep.
Technology, it happens, y'all.
Oh,
Technology does it. It's fantastic, and then at the same time, it's like a love-hate relationship.
yeah. Maybe something with the connection.
Oh yeah, it was my Wi-Fi cut out, but I just connected it to Ethernet, so we would be good. Shouldn't cut up anymore. Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, so yeah, just giving y'all. I'm not sure if y'all heard the last piece that I was saying. Those of y'all on YouTube and LinkedIn. Yeah, don't worry if you're not able to click on the link right now. I will make sure immediately after this conversation, I will go and post the link in the comments on YouTube, and I'll pin it at the top of the comments, as well as I'll list it in the description as well. And then outside of that, somebody said, I hope they don't take the steering wheel from EV cars. Y'all are way off. Y'all just talk about some other stuff right now. Let's stay on topic. All right. So, but also I'll post the link on LinkedIn as well. This video, this conversation is going to live on both platforms. Again, you want to make sure that you're here for the conversation beyond just the link, because I promise y'all. Somebody said, Cyrus, you're frozen. Am I still frozen? I shouldn't be frozen anymore.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Maybe that's an old comment while I was off. I might just be seeing some delayed comments. Anyway, you want to make sure, again, that you listen to the conversation, because you can, okay, somebody said the link is working fine on their end. But either way, we'll repost it. You want to make sure you listen to the conversation so that way you apply properly, and you also understand some things about the company as well, because we're going to talk a little bit about what the company, what the Rise of the 1% actually does, because it's actually, I mean, in my opinion, I think it's really cool. I think it's really dope. Just speak bluntly how I normally speak. So you definitely want to hear about it. So that way you look at it as more than just, okay, cool, this is a career opportunity, but also, oh wow, this is actually a really cool thing that I'm a part of. Because I'll tell y'all, working in tech sales for a couple of years, there's a difference between you doing SDR work, or you doing BDR work, or account executive work, or closing work for a company where what they're doing is really boring, just to say it honestly.
Right.
What they're doing is kind of like it's hard for you to wrap your mind around, okay, how is this moving the needle in any kind of way, versus what the Rise of the 1% is doing, where it's something where you're able to, in my opinion, I think this is something all of us could really get behind and really get excited about. And really be able to be excited about what you're doing when it comes to work every day. So anyway, that being said, so good that the link is working there. Don't worry, y'all. We'll make sure that the link is up and all of y'all have access to apply. Now, before we jump into talking about the actual company, the culture, everything with the Rise of the 1%. Charliette, can you mention what you would share with me offline about people making sure the video portion, making sure that they're actually doing that part and making sure that they're not too intimidated by thinking that that's going to be like a 10-minute thing that they have to do?
Yeah. It does not have to be complicated. Ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is a 2-minute video just explaining, a little bit about yourself as well as why you should be chosen. Because keep in mind, like companies, we have talent pools, right? And a lot of times it transcends beyond your resume, right? And be beyond what you put in the application itself. That little quick video can give us a little insight on the type of personality or who the type of person you really are, for one. And number two, it actually helps when it comes to us picking to as well, when it comes to like you'll be speaking to potential clients, potential business owners. How do you present yourself real quickly? I mean, because your calls are not going to be too long. So that type of stuff matters. So that's why those little videos help. But y'all don't make it over complicated. Don't do that. Don't do that. And don't not submit it, because that sends a message too as well. Like, dang, I gotta follow with you on this, really? Come on. So make sure you put your video in there. And a lot of times, yes, do it on mobile. A lot of times not do it on mobile. I'm sorry, excuse me, but do it on desktop. Do it on desktop to avoid any complications or any issues. But fill out the whole entire thing, because we know specifically what we're looking for. So yeah, we don't fill out the whole entire thing. You like, dang, you ain't follow instructions. Like, what's going on? But yeah, that part. But y'all don't have to make it overly complicated. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So let me actually shift this way. There we go. All right, so I know a couple of you are asking about the name of the company. So this is right here, the Rise of the 1%. And I'm sorry, Charliette, I didn't set that up properly. Just to give clarity, y'all, or foundation to what she was actually talking about, was actually during the application process. So during part of the application process, when you are applying, there will be a part of the process that will request for you to submit a video. And what she was just speaking to is making sure that you are following directions. About 2 minutes long, and also she was explaining the why behind it. Now I'm going to tell y'all straight up, I can say this, I can be a little less professional right now than she can. I will say it this way: do not be lazy during the application process. This is an amazing opportunity with a company that's really incredible, really amazing. And unfortunately, one of the main reasons many of you, whoever you are not getting the attention of hiring managers, of recruiters, sourcers, whoever, is because you're not following the process, or you're skipping certain steps, or you're shortcutting on certain things you feel don't matter. And that is literally the thing that will differentiate you between the candidates that are actually getting the interviews, or even going further and actually getting hired, versus the ones who are not. So what she just broke down is basically telling you, hey, literally giving all of the behind the scenes of what you need to do during the application process to make sure that you are seen as a top candidate, or that you have a higher probability of being a top candidate and landing for this role. So basically, don't cut any corners. It's not overly complicated, but this again is an opportunity that even if you get an entry level, is more than good already. But then also the opportunity to scale is really lovely, really beautiful, especially the way that they already have it built out with a pipeline for you to scale within the company and be able to grow within the company. So I wanted to show you all, this is just the LinkedIn page of the company right here. As you all can see, you see Gerald, who again is the CEO of the Rise of the 1%, and they are helping businesses generate more qualified customers and clients by simplified marketing strategies online. So I could go through here and say a bunch of things and go through this, but we actually have Gerald on here with us. Again, a really opportunity that I'm honored by that you're on here. We all here should be honored that Gerald is taking the time to be on here So Gerald, if you can please explain to us more about the rise of the 1%, when the company was founded and ultimately just what it is on a high level.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the rise of the 1%, we actually been around 7 years. We actually launched October 3rd of 2016. And we primarily focus in on working with Black entrepreneurs that have coaching businesses. So coaching businesses could be business owners that have like, you all may have seen this online where people have health and wellness coaching businesses. They might have a life coaching business. They might be a business coach, right? Sales coach, things of that nature. So a lot of them that have coaching businesses or they have consulting businesses, online courses, to even B2B service providers. That's primarily who we work with. And a lot of them come to us because they're great at what they do. They typically get great results for their clients, but they mostly are relying like on word of mouth and referrals to grow their business. So they want a more consistent and predictable way to generate qualified appointments and get high value clients for their business. And so we actually help them with putting automated systems in place on the internet to basically drive traffic, generate quality appointments, and convert them over to high value clients. A lot of the entrepreneurs we work with, they're smaller business owners. We are working on some corporate accounts too, but a lot of them are smaller business owners. So their revenue might be 2 to 10,000 a month. And a lot of them want to scale up to 20K, 50K, some even 100K plus a month in company revenue. And so we actually help them actually do that without spending money on paid advertising in the beginning stages of growing their businesses from a very organic approach. So that's why a lot of clients work with us. So yeah, that's primarily what we do.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I was sharing with Gerald offline about how much I love what the rise of the 1% is doing, because as you all know, the market has been topsy-turvy for everybody. And, as much as a lot of people focus on the tech industry, what a lot of people are not realizing is that every industry, if anything, there's a saying, there's a quote where the quote or the slogan goes, and y'all follow me for a second. The quote of the slogan goes, when white America catches the flu, Black America catches the cold. And usually what it's saying is that whenever things are affecting certain groups within America, it's trickling down and it hurts other groups 10 times worse. Now, I use that quote to highlight when the tech industry catches the cold, other industries are catching the flu, where they're getting hit significantly harder. And I can tell you all personally, right now, there's never been a better time to start a coaching business or to start the kind and types of businesses that the rise of the 1% services. But also, there are some things that are happening in the market that are making it more complicated. So the rise of the 1% is truly helping those that want to take advantage of this opportunity of having coaching businesses or services. Honestly, I'll be real. Some of you that are here and watching, a lot of y'all that watch my content, y'all are like, yo, I'm already making X amount of dollars. I'm already living good, but I have this business, this service, and I'm trying to figure out how to scale it. Many of you have hit me up asking me what technology or what products and services that I would recommend. For those of you where you're like, okay, maybe you wouldn't be one of the team members to work at the rise of the 1%. Instead, you legitimately might just be someone who can actually use their services. And I'm gonna be straight up, y'all. They did not ask me to say this. This is not anything we talked about ahead of time. This is legitimately something that I saw, and I was like, yo, I want y'all to know about this, because again, the goal. Y'all see me talk about the tech industry or talk about tech sales roles or SDR roles a lot. But the goal is not really about the tech industry. It's not really about SDR roles. The goal is just about all of us elevating. So some of you, that elevation might be teaming up, becoming a team member, a valued team member at the rise of the 1%, being an SDR, scaling and becoming a closer there at the company. Or for some of you, that elevation and scaling might be actually being a client of theirs, being able to grow your own personal brand or business or coaching services, whatever that might be. So I at least wanted to highlight that, because sometimes we can just look at one opportunity and miss out on the other opportunities that are before us. And in this case, there are a couple opportunities depending on who you are, depending on how God is leading you. when it comes to the rise of the 1%. So yes, I think it's dope. Let me know in the comments like what y'all think about it, because again, many of you popped in because you saw her company is hiring, and you're like, oh, let me check this out. But I want to know from those of you that are like, okay, I think this is actually pretty cool what the company's actually doing, beyond just the fact there's an opportunity here for me to work at the rise of 1%. So super great. Now we're gonna shift to some of you all's questions. I'm gonna ask Gerald and Charlotte one more question before we shift. Oh, I'm sorry, I actually realized I missed a few of y'all's questions. So yeah, I missed a few of y'all's questions. All right, so I just got an entry-level cybersecurity role, 100% remote. It's pretty chill. Do you think getting an SDR role on the side? So getting SDR roles is not something to get on the side.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's not something to get on the side. And no, your question, that's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
But I guess let me pass that question over to you. Generally speaking, I would say no, but let me pass this question over. So is this for a full-time SDR role, correct?
Correct. Yeah. And the average SDRs that's work with us that had pretty great results with working with us, yeah, they work at minimum around about 6 hours a day. Minimum. Yeah.
So and again, something like SDR, I know it's cybersecurity, depending on what role you're doing in cybersecurity, it might be more sprint based, where you're working where you have assignments or deadlines. So maybe you're able to knock the deadline out early and have a bunch of downtime, or you might have like busy days or busy weeks or busy seasons. When it comes to being an SDR, it is one of those things where, one of the wonderful things about it, particularly what the Rise of 1% has, is that base pay. But really, if you're really trying to make money, it's one of those things where you eat what you do. And so you wanting to do it part-time, and I'm not coming for the person who left the comment. I'm just more so coming for anyone that might be thinking this way. If you're thinking, okay, well, I'll do this and just kind of do it part-time for just a little something on the side, then that's all you're going to get is just a little something, right, for yourself. Right. It's like, do you want something, or do you want to make money? And one of the beautiful things about tech sales, you don't have to feel ashamed for saying, yo, I'm trying to make a bunch of money. Because guess what? The more money you make, the more money you're making the company, and vice versa. So it's one of those things where it's a unified relationship where it benefits both parties for you to really come to make a bunch of money, because it benefits the company the same way it benefits you. So make sure you come in ready to get some money. If you ain't coming, if you're just trying to get a little something on the side, then this might not be the something for you. Just to be clear.
Right.
True.
Good stuff. Yeah. So TK, you mentioned that you asked if the pay could be explained again. I'll just kind of say it just again, just on a high level, so that way we're not kind of like going over the same thing over and over, because I want to be mindful of everybody that's been here in the chat already. So for the entry level SDR, it is a base of roughly 2,500, and then there is commission on top of that for the appointments that you're setting, and then you'll move up from SDR to BDR. Of course, making sure that you're on your P's and Q's, making sure that you're actually, meeting those KPIs and whatnot. You'll scale up to BDR, and then eventually continuing on, you will scale up to a closer role. What many of you are familiar with is an account executive role, where you'll be able to make up to roughly 150K. And so that's kind of the window they have. They have a pipeline. Gerald, if you can explain that again. I think you had mentioned that it's a 6-month pipeline, or what's kind of like the projected time frame for individuals to move up.
Yeah, we're looking at a 60-day goal to get to BDR, and around about 120 days to get to closers / account executive.
That's incredible. That is incredible. Again, I want to be clear. Make sure y'all are coming to work, all of that good stuff, so that way y'all can scale up.
Mhm.
Good stuff. Good
Absolutely.
stuff. Love that so much. All right, y'all. So, all right, we already answered that question. What's the name of the company? Because we're sharing the screens. Y'all see the name of the company now. All right, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, y'all. So look, we'll hang on here for just a couple more minutes. If there are other questions that you have, I'm going to ask one more question to them. And Rachel, I would say, I guess I'll answer this. He literally just said it. The ramp period, he literally just mentioned this. So you must have literally just came on. The ramp period for an SDR. So it starts off as an SDR. The expected window of time to move from SDR to BDR is 60 days. And then from BDR to a closer or account executive type of role is 100. You said 180 days or 100 days?
120. 120.
120.
Okay, 120. I was doing the math in my head. 60 and then 120. So a total of 180 days. So that's an incredible timeline. No, you're fine, Rachel. You don't no reason to apologize for just hopping on. That's an incredible timeline because one of the things that I share this a lot with the techpreneur community, and sometimes I share this publicly, is that, hey, you get in the tech industry as an SDR, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, you should be an account executive at least within a year and a half. But in many cases, you can be an account executive within 6 months to a year. So this literally puts you in that 6 month time frame that I mentioned, where I said usually it's a miracle to get to that level in within 180 days or 6 months. This is an opportunity where they're saying, yeah, literally, if you hit these KPIs, these metrics, you will be at that level within 180 days. That is incredible to be able to cross over to potentially up to 150,000 within 180 days. That's fire, really fire. So all right, good, cool, good stuff. So someone mentioned, I guess, what are some of the benefits or packages, and I know you had mentioned this earlier, Charlie. I think I clearly might have missed that point. Is the role remote? Is it on site? Is it hybrid?
That's a great question. So right now it is remote, but again, I have to stress this too as well, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put this out here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been working remote for literally probably like 15 plus years. I will tell you this. People think that sometimes some, but not for everybody. But sometimes some people do not have the strong work ethic to work remotely. So let me put that out there. Let me say it like that. But yes, it is remote. We would like to have like some people in Atlanta too as well. That would be nice because Gerald is actually located in Atlanta. I'm in Dallas. It'd be cool to have some people in Dallas. But but yeah, it's remote. However, y'all, you still have to work when it's remote. You still have certain benchmarks you have to hit when you're remote. A lot of people don't understand that. I just want to say that, put that out there in the atmosphere. It's like a lot of people don't understand that. Like it's the same thing, whether you're in the office or you're remote. It's actually the same thing. You still have certain benchmarks and certain KPIs you have to hit. That's just the way that works. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. I will admit that when I first started working in tech sales, when I first got my very first remote job, I had noticed early on, especially after orientation, especially after I wasn't like basically being shadowed by a group of people where we all had to meet up to go through everything. I noticed where I was hit with that challenge to make sure I was on top of my stuff when it came to work. And for the first couple of weeks, and I'm saying this to preface this so all of you are prepared that have not worked remote yet, make sure that you set certain parameters in place when you have you having it scheduled to, okay, I'm working remote. Yeah, I don't have to jump in the car and drive anywhere right now. But make sure, you're still waking up maybe an hour and a half before it's time to work. And, have something set in place for maybe, okay, 15 of those minutes you meditate or you spend time with God or whatever it is that you do to really get yourself in a certain mental frame. Maybe go for a walk. Spend that time on a walk listening to a podcast or something motivational on YouTube. Have certain habits in place that have you energized, have you set and ready before work, and then have it set up to where you sit down I would say at least minimum 15 minutes up to 30 minutes before it's time for you to start working, to go over your emails, to get prepped with certain things.
Exactly.
Having certain schedule in place, even a schedule when you're done working in the day, having certain things that you have planned, things that you have scheduled that you do, having those things in place will have you operating at a level of professionalism and just consistency that you truly want. So don't think of it like, okay, cool, I'm just hopping in, I'm just gonna do it. Unless you're one of those people where you're just super type A and you're super over obsessed. I'm gonna say over obsessive, but you're just a person where you just take a huge amount of pride of being on top of things. If you're that type of person, I would say make sure you set parameters in place to make sure you are performing at a certain level. So all right, good stuff. So we're gonna probably get to one more question on here, y'all, and then we're probably going to wrap it up because again, y'all, we're gonna post the link. I know a couple of you said that you're looking for the link to apply. The link is in the description. But if you're having issues, Gregory, I see you. I know you're with the techpreneur community. I'm gonna post the link in the community, so you don't have to worry, Gregory. I'm calling you Gregory. I'm gonna say Greg because I don't nobody call you Gregory. You like, why you call me Gregory? So I'll post the link on the techpreneur. In case for everyone that's here, don't worry, you'll have the link. So we got a couple more questions, but we will get to one more. Okay, it's a random thing that popped up. All right. So, all right, Charlie and Gerald, I have a paralegal background and I'm now enrolled in a network / A+ program. So I'm not going to answer. Let me not jump the gun and answer. I'll just ask the question. All right. So with you being enrolled in a network / A+, a security A+ or A+ program, would you be considered for the SDR role with your background not in tech? And you mentioned that you're in New York. So again, the roles are more remote, so I can at least speak to that part. You should be fine when it comes to that. But yeah, so with him not having a tech sales background or a sales background, him doing a network plus or A+ program, I guess, what are y'all thoughts on his question? Or her question, excuse me, as Sunshine.
Gerald, share what you shared with me about A players when it comes to being the SD. Yeah, about A players when it comes to being SDRs.
Well, I mean, the thing is, in terms of getting in any sales role and being a top performer, I just look at it as, for one, are you coachable, teachable, right? Willing to learn? Do you have great work ethic as well? Do you genuinely really care about helping people?
Yes.
Right? Those are like some of the main characteristics, I would say, when it comes to if you don't have a background in sales.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, I am. So y'all make sure again. It's also about like just like he mentioned. We talked about this a little bit before, y'all. Transferable skills. So having those transferable skills. Maybe you don't have a specific sales background, but keep in mind most jobs we work, most things we do are sales. We just don't consider it sales. So you know the interview process how to communicate those transferable skills, and that's valuable not just for you to communicate that, but it's also valuable because you have to think in sales, you have to be able to communicate things in a way that might not seem like there's correlation, but there is correlation, there is value. In an SDR role, you might be speaking to a prospect that they might be trying to think, okay, well, I'm an influencer, or I'm a speaker, or I do this thing.
Right.
How does the rise and how does this company, how would it benefit me, or how does it correlate with what it is that I do? And so with you being in sales, you will need to know, of course, they're going to provide you with some talking points and things like that. But it is up to you to also naturally have an ability to be able to communicate a correlation between two things that might not seem on paper to have a lot of correlation behind them. And so same way, think of that when you're interviewing. Think of that during that process where when a question is brought up about, okay, hey, I notice here that you don't have a sales background and this is for an SDR role. Can you speak to that? Don't think automatically, oh man, I don't have an SDR background. I don't have a tech sales background, so I'm not qualified. Instead, think to something you've done, whether you could say, oh, I worked retail at H&M for 3 years, and actually I was the number one sales associate there in terms of people buying, and I was able to sell them. Said they usually only shop at Gucci, but I was able to communicate to them why they should buy something from H&M. Whatever an analogy right now. But either way, whatever you've done, you've had some level of sales or something you had to do to communicate. I shared this before. I shared this before online. My background was in doing poetry and spoken word. I had to communicate during interviews.
Wow.
Spoken word made me suitable to be a sales engineer, and I crushed that question. And it showed when I was working as a sales engineer. It showed during the demos how I was able to translate my ability to be theatrical in a poem to making the demos entertaining and to make sure that the prospects were paying attention to everything I was mentioning about my company's product and technology. I mean, in reality, a lot of me doing these streams is a correlation behind my background in performing in front of people and being able to motivate people towards shifting their thoughts and their emotions and opinions towards something through a poem or through some type of speech I did. So understand you have skill sets, things either innately that God has placed in you or things that have been refined with work over time that you can speak to when it comes to those transferable skills. And this is more than just you. This is more than just for you, Sunshine. This is also for everybody here. Whatever role that you are ended up pursuing or whatever you want to do in life, don't ever think directly, well, I don't have that specific skill set. Instead, think back to just, again, things you've done before and speak to those pieces in the interview process.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I will actually piggyback on that too as well. Guys, also keep in mind too as well, if you want, like for example, if you are one of those people who actually don't have expertise in a certain area that you're looking to go into, look for roles similar to this and roles that you can actually grow into to where you can start building a portfolio. I cannot stress that enough because a lot of times, oftentimes companies, it's different now. I'm older. I don't look like I'm older, but I'm 42 years old. So I've been in the game for a minute. It's just that the companies and stuff are shifting and stuff now. So a lot of times, depending on the company, a lot of times they want to see proof. So what do you do if you don't have proof? You can talk about a project you've done. You can even, it can be something as simple as an email, somebody thanking you so much for helping them or something. It can be something like that. Building a portfolio is great, like for everybody. Building a portfolio. And then when you do get a role, get in there and crush it hard. Then, of course, you'll start building your portfolio that way too, because you'll have the receipts then. You'll have the receipts. You'd be like, I booked these, as you can see in the system. Oh, I done pull it up for you. Here you go. I booked these particular calls. X amount of these calls unclosed. And people are like, they'll be like, you come to an interview like that with those type of receipts? Y'all, build y'all portfolio. I'm telling y'all.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I see some people in Atlanta in the comments. Okay. Metro Atlanta. Metro
what up, Atlanta?
Hey, y'all, look, just to give everybody a heads up, we will be dropping, we're going to be dropping the promo video for the tech event coming up here April 27th. It's TechPreneurCon is a tech event that Tech is a New Black is putting on. Our last tech event sold out the first week. We had another 3 weeks of promotion. And so we were just dropping a promo video telling people, hey, tickets are sold out, but this promo video too fire for us to not keep posting it. And so make sure that when y'all see the promo video for this next event, we're going to allow more people to come this time. We got a larger location. Make sure that y'all get your tickets to this event. Again, it's a techpreneur event where it's a collaboration between tech influencers, founders, investors, executives, recruiters, some hiring opportunities there, but also a huge investment opportunity that's happening at the event as well. What we're doing at TechPreneurCon is we are actually having somewhat Shark Tank style, a couple different tech founders pitch off, where they're going to be pitching their tech business, their startup, to the live audience and a panel of judges, where you all will be able to ask more questions about the company, questions about, okay, what kind of revenue is it generating? Questions about, okay, what does your executive team look like? You'll be able to look at their LinkedIn. You'll be able to really critique the company and see if it's a company that you actually would want to invest in. And you're able to actually vote. We will actually vote between which one of the founders will actually win the pot of the crowdfunding investment. And the beautiful thing is that beautiful thing is that it allows everybody at the event to become a micro investor and being able to be able to crowd fund startups that we believe in and startups that we're excited about. So instead of us having to missing out on these early stage investment opportunities, this allows everybody to have that opportunity when it comes to that. But also the way that this will be shot and recorded will be for the purpose of the podcast. So that way, the goal is that the episodes will go viral. So everyone's investment will automatically yield an increase just from the amount of eyeballs and exposure and hopefully virality that the episodes will get for these founders. So it's going to be a really amazing event with a lot of education, a lot of resources. Of course, the mixer, the party, and all of those things that we also come to enjoy when it comes to tech events. But this is also a huge investment and networking opportunity for everyone that will come. So make sure that you get your tickets for TechPreneurCon as soon as they drop. And so we thought the promo video was going to be dropping today, but our videographer said he putting some extra sauce on it. So we're believing it's going to be ready and out tomorrow. So make sure that you all get the tickets to TechPreneurCon, because this is something that no one else is doing. It's definitely going to be something really fire, really incredible.
I'm interested.
Sounds great.
Let me come out there.
All right, well, look, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Let me post this here I think I posted it already in the. Okay, I need to edit this so the rest of the technical community see. All right, okay, good stuff. So look, y'all, for everybody that's late to the stream, don't worry. This will continue to live on LinkedIn and YouTube. Please rewatch it. You all should have access now to the link in the description. I made an additional update. The link should be available in the description in YouTube and LinkedIn. But if not, don't worry. I'm going to add the application link onto YouTube and LinkedIn manually as soon as we end the stream, which we are about to do. But make sure that you do watch so you know actually how to apply specifically, because it's not just about applying, it's about applying properly so you can actually be noticed for the application process. So other than that, look, thank y'all so much. Thank you again, Gerald. Thank you, Charliette. I appreciate both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to come into your community.
Absolutely.
Guys,
100%.
I just randomly sent him a message and he responded.
Yeah, no, thank you so much. I mean, because y'all could have told the community about this. Y'all could have just put up a post. Y'all could have, just went the normal route on LinkedIn, which that's totally fine too. But for you to connect with me, like literally, like she just said, y'all, she reached out. They could have, said, okay, we're not going to do that. But she reached out knowing the community, knowing what it is that I do, knowing what you all are here for. So this is one of those situations, those occasions where many of you all the time, I've seen some of y'all's posts like, man, why don't, companies, why don't the sourcers, why don't recruiters, why don't they find some kind of way where they can connect with us with these hiring opportunities? This is literally an answer to that prayer. So make sure y'all take advantage of this and do not miss out. All right, good stuff. So, all right, other than that, thank y'all again. Everybody, y'all have a lovely, wonderful, beautiful night.
Absolutely. All right.